It is time! After 6 months, after you guys left 348 individual comments on all of my videos that literally just said more Stranger Things in all caps, it is finally time. They have finally blessed us with some new Stranger Things content, and boy is there a lot to unpack here. Within 30 minutes of watching this trailer, I had over 3 pages worth of notes, different Easter eggs, theories. I have so much that I want to talk about with you. Please go subscribe so you don't miss the next video. They hid so many different details in here that I haven't seen anyone else find yet, and I've got a lot of great more Stranger Things videos coming up soon that you're not going to want to miss. After 348 more Stranger Things comments, I want to see you subscribed and coming back for the next video. Alright, now who's ready for some Stranger Things conspiracies? Everybody hits the like button. Alright, now let's jump right into it. This season actually looks like it's going to be the darkest one yet. And I remember that they said season 3 was going to be super dark and gory, and then they had the whole flayed people coming together and it looked kind of gross. And then they were like, oh, season 4 is going to be even darker. And I was like, yeah, okay, 3 was pretty funny / lighthearted, but this trailer, oh my gosh, this looks like it's going to be so messed up. The twins over here are giving me like Shining vibes, and it just looks like there's going to be some serious mind games going on that are going to make things completely mental. Now, it looks like they're showing us a new side of season 4. In the past, they've mentioned that Hopper's backstory will play a huge part in this season, as well as the kids' new group of friends they call the Hellfire Club. But it is so nice to know that they're going to be introducing more of the other numbers this season. I am so freaking excited. And as we know, numbers play a huge part in the Stranger Things world. The Duffer Brothers don't miss a beat. They put a hidden detail in every single place they can. The clock, it reads 3 a.m., a hand on 12 and a hand on 3. Now, first off, super weird that it's 3 a.m. and Dr. Brenner is saying good morning to the kids.
Good morning, children.
Good morning, Papa.
What is he going to do with the children at 3 a.m.? It's the middle of the night, but 3 a.m. is also known as the witching hour. In folklore, 3 a.m. was always said to be the time when supernatural powers are the strongest. Maybe Brenner does his testing each night at 3 a.m. Who is he pushing that he needs to go harder? Elle? I thought this was super interesting. Now, the one thing that they actually forgot to put in this trailer was the release date.
Hey! Cowards.
And if you're like me, and you know the Duffer Brothers are always up to something, you're going to look a little more into things than you should and see if you can uncover it. Is the clock the release date? 12 and then 3, December 3rd? I mean, that's 6 months out. Maybe that's their planned release date for another one of the trailers. Who knows? This could simply indicate that there are 12 total test subjects, 12 different numbers, like 11, that Dr. Brenner is experimenting on in Hawkins' lab. It's also quite interesting how a clock has always played a big part in the theme for these teasers. Even the clock ticking in the first season, when Elle first made contact with the Demogorgon, they put a clock in the first teaser by Hopper's cabin. I mean, the ticking could just be a reference to the rhythm, helping Elle go into her trance and be able to use her powers, but I'm curious what all these clocks are leading up to. The writers of Stranger Things tweeted out the teaser yesterday, and for the title, they only used 9 clocks in a row. 9 clocks in a row, and then a mind-blown emoji. Honestly, there's another number 9 theory that I want to do, and this plays right into that as well. And a few months back, they also tweeted out that episode 2's title is going to be Tick-Tock, Mr. Clock. Weird, right? And I don't know if you remember, but at the end of season 3, when Elle was reading the letter Hopper wrote to her after his death, he said that he just wants to turn back the clock. This is like some Back to the Future level clock references.
Back to the Future? Oh, wow.
And I'm not even sold on the idea that they're going to introduce time travel. I don't doubt that the Duffer Brothers could pull it off. It's just time travel is such a big and tricky thing to introduce 4 seasons into a show. There might only be 5 seasons total, but all the clocks have really intrigued me. But you know what's got me even more excited? It's my birthday today! Did you get me anything? What did you get? Oh wait, it's okay. You can just subscribe instead. I'll share my cupcakes with you. No, but what I was going to say is that I'm so excited to see all the other numbers. So as of now, we only know about 6 of the children total. Of course, there's 11, and then there's Callie, number 8 from season 2. She has the illusion powers, and then the comics introduced us to 4 new children. The first one is Francine, number 6. She can actually see into the future, another time thing. Next is Ricky, number 3. He's the oldest, and he can actually manipulate other people's emotions. And then, personally, the ones I would love to see more of is the twins, number 9 and number 9.5, Jamie and Marcy. Jamie has the ability to control and create heat, whereas Marcy is actually the only number to not have any powers. Or At least yet, we'll say. I'm not positive, but I would like to assume that these two children playing with the cars are Jamie and Marcy, which, if you zoom in and look closely, it looks like this is Hopper's police car that he drives around. And the other looks like the van from Hawkins' lab in season 1 that tried to get the kids. Weird coincidence, but okay. Moving on from the clock, the teaser had 7 security monitors. For some reason, 7 has always been an important number in Stranger Things. During D&D, Will literally rolled a 7 and was caught by a Demogorgon.
It was a 7. Huh? The roll. It was a 7. The Demogorgon. It got me.
Do you remember how many days Will was stuck in the Upside Down? 7. During another D&D game, Will was bit on the arm by a zombie for 7 points of damage, and it was in Chapter 7 that the Mind Flayer bit into 11 and took her powers. The first Season 4 trailer was called From Russia with Love, a 007 movie, and the puck in this trailer lands on the number 7 right before Brenner announces he has a surprise for the children. In D&D, the most powerful attack of a cleric or a wizard, which is what Will plays, is one called Seven Eyes. Just hear me out. What if number 7 is the most powerful of the children? What if the puck hitting symbolizes number 7 lashing out and causing all this chaos we see in the Rainbow Room? I am here to look at the tiny details and figure these things out. We have no idea who 7 is. They could totally make a villain out of one of the children, and I'd be so down for it. Maybe they're the reason Brenner survived his death in quotation marks in season 1. Maybe they're the one that created the Upside Down question mark. Maybe they're controlling the Mind Flayer or turned into the Mind Flayer themselves. Literally anything could happen in this season. I think they're definitely going to set up a lot of characters, and then we'll get to dive deeper into them in the next season. But something here is going to happen with number 7 for sure. And Callie, number 8, 100% she's coming back to the show. Her episode Lost Sister in season 2 wasn't my favorite, as well as everyone else's, but I'm hoping that they kind of bring her back for redemption and make us finally like her, because I believe they can. And I'm pretty sure this whole sequence in the Rainbow Room is a flashback. I don't think it's current day. It just really wouldn't make sense with the time period. The only way it could work in the present is if this was Brenner's way of somehow reaching out to Elle and trying to get her to come back to him. The actual song they used in the teaser is a French song that I'm going to call my French friend and ask how to pronounce so I don't butcher it.
Hello?
So I'm working on a project, and a friend referenced me this old French play, and I don't know how to pronounce it properly.
Alright, so, yeah, for the first one.
So this song,
Quand le bien aime reviendra,
from this play,
Nina, ou la folle par amour,
is about a girl named Nina who is in love with this man that her father, the Count, doesn't approve of. So this man she loves fights his rival in a duel, and after, she believes that he's been killed and she goes mad, literally forgetting what happened in this traumatic incident with a diagnosis of psychogenic amnesia. And get this, she only regains her memory when her loved one reappears unharmed and her father finally lets her marry him. This is literally a song about a young woman who loses her memories in a forced amnesia. This is literally 11 with her powers. Are you kidding me? I just wonder how they can find this stuff that they can draw these lines between. It would be really crazy if 11 didn't get her powers back and remember how to use them until she learned that Hopper was alive. The song literally translates to "When My Sweetheart Returns to Me," in reference to Hopper returning to Elle, or maybe even a reference to Dr. Brenner's sweetheart, 11, returning to him. And I don't know if you remember this, but they also did this with the Big Ben clock chimes in the first season 4 teaser. The song that the notes of the clock chime are from is called My Redeemer Liveth, as in Hopper is still alive and in Russia. Such a crazy theory. It just amazes me that they can figure this stuff out. I feel like they're going to try to use the other children to somehow communicate to 11 that Hopper is still alive. I would love to see the kids help her get her powers back. Maybe by showing her Hopper, something in her brain will trigger and her powers will come back. But speaking of the children, I'm really hoping we get some backstory for 4, 7, and 8 that were all blocked out by the pucks on the board. We see the number 7, 9, 10, and 11 on the cell doors, and the die on the security screen showed 2, 6, 4, and 5. So put together, that's 2, the clock pointed to 3, and then 4, 5, I don't know if you caught this, but also if you brighten the reflection in the camera lens, you can see that the rainbows in the room come together to make the number 5. Just pointing that out there, I'm not sure what significance it has, but then we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and of course 11. The only missing number is 1. It would be so cool to see who number 1 is. If you remember, the very first test subject of the MK Ultra project was Subject Zero, who I made a video about when they showed us for the first time in the book of Darkness on the Edge of Town, which explored Hopper's backstory a lot. It was a really good book. They also said that there's going to be a huge emphasis on Hopper's boxes he had hidden away in his basement that 11 found. One was marked Hawkins Lab, one was marked New York, and then the last one was marked Vietnam. The Hawkins Lab box had all the stuff on Terry Ives that 11 rooted through to find her mother. The New York box had a bunch of his case file paperwork from his undercover story with Subject Zero, which was really cool. I definitely recommend reading that book or at least watching the video I made on it to see what happens. And then the third box is labeled Vietnam, where MK Ultra started. In Vietnam, MK Ultra started testing for the very first time on soldiers, all of which who died, hundreds of them, except for Subject Zero. Their goal was to turn him into a Superman. Literally. I'm not sure if season 4 will address Subject Zero, but I really hope we get to see it at least mentioned, as well as number 1 be revealed. We've been waiting for them to introduce the other kids. I'm so excited. I just can't wait for them to all come together in the last season to have the biggest battle ever to defeat the Mind Flayer once and for all. I can't wait. I'm really curious how they're going to do 11's flashback scenes at Hawkins Lab. I wonder if they used unused footage back from when they filmed season 1, or do you think they're actually going to digitally de-age her? I mean, all the kids have gotten so old now and they're going so far back in time. I mean, they could use a younger actress like they've done before, but I don't think these flashbacks take place when she was very young. Honestly, I think these flashbacks that we see in the trailer and this teaser are the events that lead up to 11 escaping Hawkins Lab. I really do. I think that would be so cool, and I really hope we get to see this and they use this. Could you imagine if one of the flashbacks ends with 11 escaping Hawkins Lab into the forest, and then it connects to the first time we see her walk into the diner in season 1? That would be so awesome. It would just come full circle. I really hope they do this. But if this is what it is, this is the night/aftermath of 11's escape. Then 11 would be the same age we saw her at in season 1, and they wouldn't be able to use another actress unless they pull a Captain America and CG her de-aged head on someone else's younger body. But this trailer has gotten me so excited. I can't even imagine what they're going to release in the next 2. So impressed that each one has been about something completely different. The Upside Down, Hopper in Russia, and now the Hawkins Lab kids. I don't know how they're going to fit all of this, as well as the Hellfire Club and some good old Joyce Byers with her magnets, into one season, but you know what? I am going to be here making videos the whole time, as well as for the book on Terry Ives while they were testing her at Hawkins Lab, and probably the comics too with the other numbers. So please go down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the videos. Come over to the Discord and say hi. A link will be in the pinned comments. And if you say happy birthday, I'll share my cupcakes with you. But now that we have Stranger Things content, yes, you will be getting more Stranger Things videos. Tell me in the comments how excited you are on a scale of 1 to 69. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. Peace.